bit from my book. So let's just see what that's. Let's see what happens. It was the first, kind of like this part. These words are not describing anything other than the immediate, inexplicable phenomenon of their very happening, called hearing this. This. So life, this, now, what is, has no name to hold it, bind it, keep it, have it, or make it knowable. What is not something apart that can be known. What is and is not, is nothing and everything, both, not a thing, no thing. Calling this life, energy, wholeness, oneness, doesn't make it a thing apart that can be viewed or felt as that. What is appearing to happen or happening is the nameless. The nameless cannot be bound by a word called nameless. Saying this is nameless or has no name does not make it then suddenly aloof, special, or complicated. It is the extraordinary, ordinary, sudden miracle of no thing appearing to happen. What is, or the happening, or this is empty, and yet immediately full to the brim with the reading of the words, this is empty. The word empty is almost an aberration, as if this is something other that can be described as that. Wonderfully, it is this, totally innocent and empty, appearing as inescapable whatever is. No thing, everything. What is falls through hands like water, never to be held. This aliveness or momenting or energy, this timeless happening of simply hearing these words, is the room where the elephant quietly rests, silently being everything, including the thoughts, feelings, sensations, sounds, seeing everything. This book is not about anything, or it is the stunning immediacy of simply reading, writing, hearing, appearing to happen, not what is being said. The unfathomable appearing as reading of words, the unfathomable appearing as reading of words, this. The elephant in the room is this, what is happening, arising, collapsing, expanding, contracting, appearing, disappearing, life, energy, no thing, no word. Each word that appears now is a sort of magnificence in its impossibility. They are appearing to describe this happening, and yet they cannot describe the happening of their describing, for they are too late. Too late is too late. Nothing can describe everything. Closer than intimate, this is closer than close, more immediate than immediate. Words will not touch this empty, alive nakedness. Words are this empty, alive nakedness as words. This now, book in hands, textures, paper, words, thoughts, feelings, is unbelievable, inescapable, sheer aliveness. This talking, that hearing, these words appearing, disappearing, disappearing, appearing. They are a description from nowhere, just describing a hearing from nowhere, hearing happening. There is no place called nowhere. Totally ordinary, beyond compare, simple, what is, wholeness, energy. No words as words. This, the inescapable everything, can appear as being an entity apart, estranged and looking for it. Appears, it is still inescapable everything. Seeking to know what is, have it, understand it, not feel apart from it, is still what is, arising, collapsing, cannot depart from it. There is nothing apart. What is wholly that. You are not hearing these words. You simply will not find a listener, nor indeed your attempt to find a listener. But hearing of these words is perhaps happening, and with it perhaps a tightly held real story about being alive, about you, your life, and life. In essence, this book is a suggestion that you do not have a life, that there isn't you and life, that there is just life or this, or simply what is, boundaryless and boundless, utterly and wonderfully unknowable. Unknowable is also unknowable. Beyond delving into a story, not much can really be said. Breathing, reading, hearing, sounds, wind blowing, traffic outside, sun shining, sitting, thoughts just happening. No words capture this, and yet a fucking book, apparently. I added in the fucking part there at the end. That was improvising. So there you go. There's an intro, I suppose. And if by chance you haven't been here before and there's something that you'd like to ask about this, what was said there or what was in videos or what's in videos or whatever, then there's an opportunity here for that. So let's see what happens.
Hi, Frank. Can you hear me?
I can indeed.
Okay, thank you. Frank, could you say a word again about this statement that everything is empty? What is it possible to put a structure on that?
Well, without the story, and everything is bound together like a house of cards, of words, filled with story. Without all that, everything is utterly empty. You see, this can't be talked about. So by even saying this is empty, it's like giving the impression that it can be seen then as empty, but it's empty full as now this apparently talking and hearing. So what can be said about that? Well, actually, whatever appears to be said is this. So empty and full, nothing and everything, they're just words. But there is this, and it's not an image of empty. So it's like this idea of nothing. Nothing can only be attempted to be imagined as a gray, murky sort of a thing, or empty can be imagined as a thing, that it's, oh, it's empty. It doesn't feel empty. Well, it's actually full then as the sensing that it doesn't feel empty. It's as that. It's as everything.
Yeah. Probably impossible to comprehend, really, isn't it?
Well, it's just so, the problem with talking is that it gives the impression that things can be known. And we're just talking about this now, here, sitting, a voice talking. And you see, if it was something really complex and difficult or so mind-blowingly whatever, and there was somebody that could talk about it, they could say and describe what it's like. But there isn't anyone. And so it seems like descriptions appear, but it's not a description even. It's sort of a communication or a sharing or whatever. So it's this, what can be said about this then?
Yeah, probably nothing.
Well, it appears as then saying probably nothing. But probably nothing really.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not, it's as that laughing now.
Yeah.
And saying, yeah, and then this banter, this voice here, the traffic outside and blue sky and, you know, So it's just so totally ordinary. And yet then not really, not ordinary. So
Okay, Frank, thank you.
thank you. There's a message here that says, hi, Frank, if the me is so insignificant in this wonderful no thing, then why does the me feel all so consuming to the person? Why can't it vanish easily? Thanks so much. Well, it can't vanish easily because there is no me already. Sorry about that piece of news. And all there is what's appearing to happen. So if it's felt to be all consuming, then it's felt to be all consuming. That would be what is then. See, that's the killer. There isn't a me that drops away. And really what's left is the feeling or thought or idea then that I want to know that there is no me. But I don't know that there is no me. There's no me. So all this talking about the me, it brings it fully to life as something called a me. And then we spend all this time then saying that, well, there isn't a me. But all the while we're talking about this thing that's not there.
Thanks, Frank. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Thank you. So just being constantly stuck in a restless me, that's just what's happening. That's it.
Well, all there is what is appearing. So if the feeling of being stuck is what's felt, then that's what's felt and described. But this me that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Good old me doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So all there is just feeling a little bit stuck or whatever.
And it cannot ever realize, you can't ever see the elephant in the room as you described it there a while ago.
Well, you see, there isn't, if there was someone in there, they could definitely find something and they'd be able to hold on to it and they'd be able to write a book about it. But there isn't anyone in there already. So if there isn't anyone in there already, then there isn't anything that can drop away. And then there isn't anything that can see this or find this. So what's left is it's just what's appearing, but you don't get to have what's appearing. You don't get to have thoughts, but there are thoughts. You don't get to have feelings, but there are feelings. You don't get to have breathing, but there's breathing. You don't get to have anything. There's just, all there is what there always was, just simply plainly what is. But you see, that is not something to take on board even.
Yeah,
So
of
in other
course.
words, if feeling stuck or fucked off or whatever, then that would be what's being felt and described. But, you know, it can't be validated, or it's like people saying, oh God, the me's dropped away, feel great, this is amazing. You go, all right, okay. Like, there isn't a know me passport that gets stamped by some authority. There just isn't a me. So all of this doesn't require a good old me.
And even like, sorry, now this sounds silly because I know the answer already, I guess, but like even the stuck me, the restless me, blah blah blah, affirming that it's just completely pointless. Do you know, like it's somewhat comforting going, oh well, this doesn't matter anyway, but that's just more the same, isn't it?
Well, it's sort of, you could say, well, that's what's been happening. It's sort of trying to find some bloody use for this thing, this sort of communication. There must be some way to use this. Or sure, look, at all there is what's happening. It's fine. I'm totally fine about everything. But it's just a sort of conceptual way of sort of trying to find something useful in this. And there isn't anything useful in it. But that also would be what's appearing to happen. But it's just this me. We're talking about something that's not there, and it gets an awful lot of airtime. So imagine there's no me required to ask that question there, and no me there to sigh and breathe and think and feel and seek.
But that's just totally unimaginable, isn't it?
What's totally unimaginable?
Like you
That
said, imagine.
there's no me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no me. How would it be imaginable?
Yeah.
It's not, I can't, like, it's not like, oh, he knows about the no me. No idea.
Yeah. Thanks, Frank.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Frank.
Hiya.
I just wanted to say, like, it's so amazing that like there is just this talking now, and there is not knowing what's gonna be said, like even like a fraction of seconds away
Yeah,
from.
it's kind of amazing sometimes. I hear, well, I know what you're going to say. I kind of go, all right, but I don't. And I don't know what you're going to say. And you actually don't know what you're going to say either. It's just, there's
Yeah, it's
thoughts
just
about
like
it.
just
Yeah. It's just ideas that, oh, well, I have a vague idea. I'm going to say this now, but it's incomparable
yeah,
to
yeah.
what comes
It's
out
like
of the
so
mouth normally.
immediate, so fast somehow that there is just no way to prepare for this kind of thing, like this kind
Well,
of communication. Yeah,
it's nothing's happening.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's cool that it can be like generally it can be when there is no filter, it can be more immediate somehow, as you were saying, that there's just like place for it in and for everything, yeah, for all the fucked up feelings, for this whatever. It's like not censored somehow.
Yeah. Though sometimes I'd like to curse less, but
Me too.
but then the
Yeah.
fucks come out. So
Thank
they
you.
do.
Yeah. But I mean, generally, not even like about the facts, but just about emotions or whatever. It's just like everything is so immediate that the mind just like is somehow powerless, like can't catch up. Like it's just like, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. All Are the appearances also not real? Question. Real, and you could say it's just full as whatever is. Then it's like this can't be imagined, and yet it's just so totally bloody ordinary. It's just this now. It's just hearing a voice. So what can be said about that? Well, is it real or unreal? Is it everything and nothing? Is it an image? Is it, or is it just fully so inescapably as hearing and thoughts and whatever? That the best maybe that can be said is that it's just happening. So it's just so, we're so used to complicated, and but this is childlike. It is not you know, it's not like it sort of can then be described, and when words like real and unreal, empty and full, nothing and everything, it's when those words are heard, it can be then, it's like sometimes reinforced, almost like, oh well, it doesn't feel like empty and full here, it feels shit, or it feels whatever. But they're just words, and so it's really, that's why when you hear all there is what's appearing to happen, is there's just this happening, and no word touches it, and yet suddenly inescapably appearing as no word touches it. This like, the moment this feels like it's already stale, it's like the fresh fruit is suddenly plucked from the tree, and it's known as whatever, and it can be described, and it rapidly rots and turns into something else. Whereas just this ever freshness is appears as seeking, appears as the feeling like it's not ever fresh. It appears like this is fucking horrendous that I'm not getting this. It appears as, all right. It appears as everything. Totally impersonal.
Hi again.
Hi,
Not
yeah.
again. Maybe it's a bit like what you were saying about this fresh, juicy fruit. Maybe it's like freeze drying a fruit, and then it's like dry and kind of stale, and it can be gotten somehow. It's like then there is, it's an appearance that it's known that there is like a structure created, some kind of thing, but this is just like fresh and always immediate.
Well, yeah, the freshness can appear like then it's stale and it's I've been here before and blah, 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 blah. But for the analogy's sake, it is sort of like that. And then it can be put, like you say, freeze dried, put in a package and sold as something.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's normally then how it appears.
Yeah.
Whereas what we're talking about is
Agendaless, totally like.
But it's also sort of annoying. You know, it is annoying. It's a paradox and a difficulty. Like appearing to talk about this suggests like it can be talked about, but it's just appearing as talking.
Yeah, just words flowing out of
just
this
words
of our
flowing
mouth.
out. Yeah.
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 But there is joy in that.
Yeah, it's great crack.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think there's quite a lot of confusion comes into play when one hears, well, there is no me, which is the answer to most things that I can see coming up in this particular message. There is no me. And yet, some speakers, quite a lot of speakers, will say things like, well, it was this way, but when the me fell away, this is the way it is. I'm sure it's the people who say these things don't mean it the way I think they do.
Yeah.
Would you have anything to say about that?
Well,
conversion?
I can't really describe or say what other people are saying, but you can say there's what's appearing to happen. Okay, so there's just simply what is, and so then as what is, if it's felt that, well, I'm here now and I'm feeling like a person, and I want to get to a place where there's that feeling of seeking stops, or I want to get to a place where whatever is imagined, then that would be what's appearing to happen. This sort of then meeting or gathering really is just a sort of maybe it's a mirror, I don't know, that's making it something, but it's sort of, it's just that nothing can be validated, nothing really can be compared or agreed upon. So that's the sort of how everything just falls apart. So then if it's felt like well, whatever is described, like I'm a me and then that's simply, plainly and totally what is. But it won't be validated. So how can it be validated? Oh, I can see the me there. And then in regards with other speakers or whatever, I've no idea about any of that.
Yeah. I suppose the thing that hits me all the time is the difference, if any, between, for the want of, I know I'm using words to try and describe this, the difference between before and after. There doesn't appear to be a before, and there doesn't appear to be an after.
Yeah.
So I'm somewhere in the middle, and like, does the character feel any way different when he or she hears the message? That's the best way I can put it.
So you're hoping for something anyway, Bernard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
you're hoping for something. Sorry, now I've nothing to offer you but total disappointment.
No, that's fine.
There's already no Bernard in there. There's already no one in there asking that question. But there is what is, and if it's felt like whatever, then that's how it appears to be being felt. This. And what else did you, sorry, what else did you ask?
I suppose I was asking, really, is there a before and an after? Does anything happen at all?
No.
Well, you have a different perspective on things.
I actually don't have anything, but nothing happens. If it's anything, then it's a thing, and it is definitely had then, and it can be shared, talked about, and given, definitely, and you can be helped along the way. If it's even a tiny whisker of something,
yeah,
it's just nothing happens, and that's not a thing either.
So every time I open my mouth, it's really a story.
So you don't even open you don't open your mouth. There's just opening the mouth asking question, thoughts about what you are and who you are, and seeking and the story of that, and that's what's appearing to happen. It's just happening. So sound of the traffic outside, hands and face here, and then perhaps the sense how the story might appear, but hold on now, this needs to be, I need to get something so I can prove it to everyone. I can definitely say that I've arrived, but the difficulty is that there's no one in there already seeking. There's just seeking. And seeking then just can play out and go on like it's going on.
Or it can stop for no particular reason.
It can appear to no longer go on, or it can appear like seeking is no longer happening and questions no longer appearing to happen. So you can't even ask questions, but questions appear to be asked. You can't seek, but seeking appears to happen.
Yeah.
And it's not like then you'll go, all right, I've got it now. What have you got? It's just, it can, like it's you like you see, it's we're talking about simply plainly this now.
Yeah.
Whereas the movement can be wanting of something to connect all the dots so that this will finally make sense. But nothing, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. When I'm saying, yeah, of course, I'm not so sure what I'm saying, but it's almost a no man's land. Nothing is happening, but everything is happening at the same time, or something like that. But even that's a concept, isn't it?
Well, it's words just appearing to be used. We're just talking about talking then. It's not like anything can be said at all. But it is then appearing suddenly, inescapably, as saying suddenly, inescapably, whatever. So then nothing may ever be said about it. There might be, or might be sharing about it, or nothing at all. It's just go, all right.
Okay.
It's so ludicrously ordinary and simple, but saying all those things can make it feel like, oh, I'm missing it. It's just you're not. So it's like, how can nothing see that it's nothing? It's a misnomer. It's a no. It's not. It's just. It's fully as this conversation. So there's no. It's not like there's someone here that has got something, and there's someone there that hasn't got something or whatever. There's already no one in there now. But that's not something to live a life by, that sentence. It's a sort of dumbfounding, expression. And it seems like it can't be unheard then for the unfortunates. And it just can't be, and it can't appear to be let go of either. But it's not the unknown. The brain, you can do nothing with it. Now, some seem to, whatever, but it's just so fully alive. It's not to do with non-duality then. It's not to do with, oh, there's no self. It's so fucking boring. It's not to do with meetings. This is useless, this here. Going and drinking 50 pints would be this equally. Going for a walk, eating an apple, being hungry, being full, watching Netflix, talking with friends, playing guitar, roaring at somebody in a car that pulls out in front of you, the bike, the grass growing, new plants in the garden, a new painting, a fucking delicious glass of wine or coffee and cornflakes and toast melting on the bread, friendship, hugs, fighting, screaming, the wind, the rain, or just ordinary sitting. But you can't have it like. And it's not a better or a worse or a, oh God, now it's amazing or any of that. It's just simply, plainly, and totally as whatever is. So as whatever is appears, seems to, as seeking, or what can be described and felt as seeking.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Frank.
All right, thank you.
Frank, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay, thanks. Um, okay. When things are happening, just what is now it's happening. Includes my feeling or this feeling to be separate or to be the one that all things are happening to. And could you say, or would you say that it makes absolutely no difference if this feeling is or is not that that the things are happening to me? Yes.
Well, there's just what is being felt and described, and then in regards difference, there's no self in there. There's just simply plainly what's being described. So everything then is incomparable. So whatever is felt and described here is incomparable and just happening, and whatever is happening there, there's no, it seems like it can be compared and agreed upon, but it's like leaves on a tree. They're all utterly completely unique. So it's like momenting, or this happening is constantly falling, disappearing, and so it's never comparable. But you could say everything is different. You could say that
Yeah.
too, you know.
Yeah, it's a bit like I have this impression I cannot explain what I mean because of this lack of be able to speak in a foreign language. Sometimes I feel like what I mean is more like it's like I feel when there is just this feeling of me isn't that there is no difference when this feeling isn't anymore, because there is no one that this feeling happens to. I can't explain.
Yeah, just go on though. Like you're describing, is it that what, that a sense of it, of being, and of being there, is it, or what? I don't really get what you're saying.
The only one that sees an importance in this circumstances, am I here or am I not here, is me. Yes, the me is the only one that cares about am I here, and have I the feeling, do I have the feeling that I'm separate? So for the whole, I take this word, the whole, the whole thing isn't, there is no relevance for it.
But
You know what I mean?
there's no relevance to anything. Like, it's, in a way, it's you who has all this sort of knowledge or sense of what this is about me, know me, about meing, and about meaning, or about purpose or no purpose, or importance or no importance. If that's what's felt, it's just this. There's no proof to anything. It's all of that, like, it's just like stories wrapped into stories, and this me and no me and non-duality and getting there. And so it is everything. It is the feeling of it was great there for a little while, I felt great, and now that's gone, I want that back. It is the feeling, it's everything. So it is what's happening now, that wondering about this. It is inescapably appearing as that. You're just not doing anything. There won't be a moment of suddenly the me is dropped away now, and we're done and dusted, and I'll get on with the rest. It's just, there isn't a me already. And
Yes.
but there is what's appearing, or there is what's described and felt, and these sorts of kind of gatherings, or a kind of a sharing about that. I mean, this is a total and utterly unhavable mystery, this just now talking here. So it's not like this. It seems like in a question and answer scenario, the questionnaire has some questions, and that which gives the answer has answers, but really they're not even answers, they're responses, and there's no knowledge behind them. Nothing really has been said at all. It's all the knowings are elsewhere, all that knowledge about what this is, how it should be, how it could be, about the me falling away, about liberation. There are all these sorts of held ideas.
But these held ideas are not in another place. They are this too.
They are this too. Yeah, they're absolutely. It would be what's happening. It would be this as that. Yeah.
Because here's a struggling the whole time. There's a struggling about to be like to have to feel the need to be in another way, to to be in the right way, you know, to be in the way you describe. The whole time is this game going on, to be in another way, to be in a better way, and
and really that is the predominant. That's the essence of seeking, really. That's the essence of sorry, I lost you there. That's the essence of what the seeking is, the feeling. And so then this sort of, but like I said, this sort of communication is a sort of a paradox, because it appears when there's something going on here, you can only imagine that, well, this guy must have something. This guy must have something, even if it's nothing. And this voice just constantly then returns to, no, nothing at all is had. It's total poverty. But then that can be imagined as, oh, well, I want that total poverty then. And then when you say it's nothing, it's, I want that nothing. And it's just seeking then. It's just a sort of a dis-ease, but it's just happening. You can't do that or not do that. It's full as that. So you can't stop that or start it, or it's just what is. And so maybe these sorts of gatherings are a dismantling of most of the held ideas and beliefs. They can fall away, but still, when someone is speaking, it's still imagined. It's just unavoidable that a carrot is found some way in the words, even if it's nothing. Even nothing is imagined. It just seems to play out like that. And that would be fully, totally just what is. It's totally fresh. You can't have that either. You can't have that seeking. And you can say, well, I don't want that. I don't want it though, Frank. You can have it. But you can't even have that either. You can't have the sensing or feeling of, I don't want this seeking anymore. That would be just what's appearing to happen. So it's as seeking, as hearing, as talking, as breathing, as forgetting about this, as remembering about this, as whatever is. It's so totally, horribly, wonderfully, despicably, beautifully, stunningly ordinary. And just this. It's just this, big dog. Just sitting on a chair, hand on the head. It's got to be better. No. It's got to be better than this, Frank. Would you like a better chair? More glowing? You know, it's just a sort of that's seeking, essentially. And seeking in essence is that it can't be this, really. And so it's these sorts of things like are so bloody energetic, so wonderfully energetically just appearing to happen. It's a total mystery how anything is happening, but it's a total mystery how, you know, yeah, anything is happening, really. That's yeah.
and in the end is but there is a relaxation. This is the carrot for me.
Give me something, Frank. Give me,
huh?
give me
Yeah.
something. Give me
You
something,
feel,
Frank.
come on, you feel and relaxation.
You feel better, Frank, don't you? You feel great. Yeah.
I want this relaxation, and not.
I want this boundless relaxation into everything. That's really what the one I want most of all. A boundless relaxation into everything. But I want to be able to talk about it too. What's that?
I don't care about the any. the everything.
Mm.
I just want this to be relaxed. It's total selfish thing, maybe, but it's the only thing I want.
Yeah. Just want relaxation.
Yes.
How much do you want? Do you want a big bit? Or,
How
or you
much
want what's
relaxation?
you want total? Do you want to how this amount of relaxation, or this amount, or just a little tiny bit?
Just
Imagine
like
it's a
you.
relaxation that can be full to the brim as tension.
Yes, because relaxation is just a description or just a word.
Yeah.
I get this. I think it's not graspable what it is like relaxation.
Mm.
Yes. Anyway.
It's a sort of an image. The word relaxation is kind of it's lovely and attractive, but it's sort of
Mm,
another image
yeah, but
held.
it corresponds with a feeling. This is energy thing. Yeah, it's more like a feeling. It's
Yeah.
like relaxation is relaxation. Feels relaxed.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Thanks.
see, it is a sort of a hopelessness, you could say, total hopelessness, but in the end it is that like that. It's a total hopeless, because all the images sought after, all the goals, all those subtleties, they're just held images. And it's like I said, it's nothing, even nothing can be imagined to be something. This seeking is quite clever. And also, tries to imagine that nothing is something, because nothing is utterly unimaginable. The best word for nothing would be no word.
Yeah, and seeking is equals nothing. Seeking is nothing too. Oh,
It's
could
just
you say?
whatever. If seeking is felt like it's nothing, but mostly it's felt to be pretty shit, that would be what's
Yeah,
happening then.
yeah. Okay, thank you,
Yeah, thank you.
Frank.
I just seen if seeking stops, is that the end of me? There just isn't a me. And then there's another, is subject and object dependent on each other? It seems like as long as there's a held idea or heldness here, then there's over there, and there's me and you and up and down, and but nothing depends on anything really. Is it the end of the imagined me if seeking stops? If seeking stops, it's for no one. No one's seeking. No one's thinking. No one is feeling. No one is breathing. There's just breathing, thinking, feeling, and plainly just whatever is. Good old me loves an old task of some description, loves to feel like it's somewhere in the thick of everything, must have some role, must be doing something in all of this. Mm.
My last word is good night, Vienna.
Right.
Thanks, Frank.
Thank you. Um, without the sense of me, would there still be seeking? It's just, you see, there isn't a me doing anything. There just isn't a me. So you never did a thing. You never were seeking and not typing that. It's just typing that. Hard to believe, isn't it? It's actually unbelievable. Okay. Have a lovely